Hello students, welcome to the Pole Science of Class 12 Arts, and today we will proceed with the principle of Indian foreign policy. In the previous class we had completed point number 1 and 2, which were number 1 non-alignment and number 2 opposition to colonialism and imperialism. So today we will proceed with the third principle of India's foreign policy, that is supporting UN in achieving world peace. So let us proceed then. So regarding this number 3 point, that is supporting UN in achieving world peace, India is one of the founding members of the UN in 1945. India has played a major role in its instrumentality to achieve world peace. India has always advocated that resolution of international disputes be done under the purview of the UN. So number third principle regarding India's foreign policy is that it has been a helping hand in the works or in the development process that the UN is doing. India is always with the UN and it has given its assistance and help wherever the UN has required. So regarding that, India has always been advocating one important thing, that means whatever the negotiations or whatever the discussions, or say that if disputes and conflicts arise, so India is in favor of UN, that whatever the things or discussions will be done or settling peace, that should be done through the UN. That means UN should be truly seen as the mediator of the world, where the UN will confront the nations, whoever or whosoever is facing conflicts and disputes. That particular matter should be resolved by the UN only. So India is in support of the UN regarding that. After that, number 4, fairness of means. So inspired by the ideas of Gandhi, India has always emphasized that their means should be used in the resolution in international disputes. India has advocated of peaceful and non-violent methods and opposes war, aggression and power policies. Panchsheel is an outgrowth of this line of thinking. So regarding fairness of means, as we know that India is a country that follows non-violence, and along with that it also tries to settle disputes through discussions and peaceful means. So it is in favor of discussions and it also supports non-violence. And in regard to that, in the same way, it also opposes wars because it does not support the use of nuclear weapon. So it opposes wars, aggressions and power policies. So these three things India has always been against of, and India has been a supporter of peaceful and non-violent methods in that process. So regarding that only, whatever India is following, like it is, if India is supporting discussions through peaceful means and non-violent methods, that means Panchsheel has been one of the most important factor because of whom India is always supporting the non-violent methods to settle disputes. After that, friendship with each countries. So without being committed to military alliances, India has opted for cultivating friendly relations with other countries. For this purpose, India has concluded treaties and bilateral agreements in the field of politics, economy, culture, of science and technology. That means, as we know that as there were two power blocks, or as there were the creation of two power blocks after the Second World War, since the year 1945 to 1991, the first superpower was United States of America and the second superpower was headed by the USSR. So as we all know that India has never been under any alliances, because at that particular moment, after 2 years exactly, India got or achieved independence. So it did not wanted to be under any other alliances, and India wanted to have its own independence and own independent foreign policy. So with regard to that only it did not came into alliances with any of the superpower, but it maintained a good relations with every countries and even with the USSR also. So in regard to that, it has also successful in concluding treaties and bilateral agreements. So as we know that India was not under any of the alliances, so it was creating its own path of progress and development through what? Through various treaties it formed, and it was also one of the founding figures of the NAM. So with that non-aligned movement or NAM, and as an independent country also, it made various treaties and bilateral agreements between two countries, and these bilateral agreements and treaties were in the field of politics also, economy also, and culture of science and technology also. So these treaties were made under these heads, starting for the development of politics, for the development of economy, and also for the technology, and technology related to science and technology, which could further bring or make India as a successful and developed country. Clear? Now let us proceed to the next point, that is policy maker. So these 5 points were the principle regarding India's foreign policy. Now we will start with the most important point regarding the topic foreign policy, that is policy maker. That means who are the think tank that are actually responsible or implement the foreign policy of our country. The first think tank or the essential factor that is there for the success of foreign policy of the country is PMO, that means Prime Minister's Office. So related to number one topic, Prime Minister's Office, let us proceed then. Jawaharlal Nehru, India's first Prime Minister, promoted a strong personal role for the Prime Minister. Nehru served concurrently as Prime Minister and Minister of External Affairs. He made all major foreign policy decisions himself after consulting with his advisors, and then entrusted the conduct of international affairs to senior members of the Indian Foreign Service. He was the main founding father of the Panchsheel, or the 5 principles of peaceful coexistence. So regarding the first and most important point regarding the point of foreign policy is the policy maker, and under this the first think tank which has worked for the success of foreign policy of India is the PMO, that means Prime Minister's Office. So India's first Prime Minister was Honorable Jawaharlal Nehru. So what was his role? He was the Prime Minister also, and along with that he was also holding another portfolio as the Minister of External Affairs. So during that course, being the Prime Minister and Minister of External Affairs also, he made all major foreign policy decisions, because the Minister of External Affairs is directly related to the work of foreign policy. So Jawaharlal Nehru was himself taking all foreign policy decisions, and this he was not taking all decisions by himself, but after consulting with his advisors and the senior members of the Indian Foreign Service, both these two sections of people, after consulting these two sections of people, he made all the major decisions regarding the foreign policy of India. Clear? He was the main founding fathers of the Panchsheel, or the 5 principles of peaceful coexistence. So that means he was also, as he was holding both the portfolio of Prime Minister also and Minister of External Affairs also, and whatever he was looking after the foreign policy of India, all the decisions were taken by him alone, but not according to his wish, but after finally consulting with the senior members of the Indian Foreign Service and his advisors. So after consulting these two sections of people, he was taking decisions related to the foreign policy of the country. And last but not the least, he was also the founding fathers of Panchsheel. As we all know, we have already read the topic Panchsheel. So he was one of the founding figures of the Panchsheel, or you can say the 5 principles of peaceful coexistence. Clear? So with this we have come to the end of today's topic, and regarding the policy maker we have read factor number 1, who has actually worked for the success of policy maker. In the next class we will start from the second factor that has worked for the success of foreign policy of India, that is Ministry of External Affairs. And today we have read the 3 principles regarding foreign policy, and after that we have completed point number 1 under policy maker, that is Prime Minister's office. So I hope that whatever the points we have read, it is now clear to you. With that I will wind up today's topic. Thank you.